Central Arkansas, it's getting close to time to start peppers, tomatoes, and eggplants. So in order to do that, we got to have some seed starting mix, and that's what this video is about today. So I'm going to take this tote, and that's going to be the catch for the screening that I'm going to do with the material I'm using in the seed starting mix. Now the screener or mesh that I use is hardware cloth. I believe that's 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch. Maybe it's a little bigger, 3/8 inch. Anyway, I just took the deck railing that when I was disassembling my deck, and I put this together like this. I even put rollers in it when I was shaking it, but that's not needed. Then I just stapled it on the bottom there, and that works really well. I've had it for a number of years now, and it works great. Now I used to use a wheelbarrow, and I would have to transfer the wheelbarrow contents into this tote anyway, so I just started to use this tote this year. I've got a piece of board here just so the edge doesn't rest on the screen itself, and I got the smallest screen right here. Now I need to get the material. And here are the mix. Now normally I would use peat, regular old peat, and screen it. I don't have any peat right now, so I'm going to use an old bag of potting mix. Bought that for the wife, and that'll work just great. It's cheap potting mix. I've also got aged rice hulls here for my pile. I'm going to grind those up just a little bit, my little grinder, and to make the particles smaller. And then I'm going to screen those as well. There's the first potting mix on here, and it's got chunks in it, and you don't want the chunks as much in the seed starting mix. I mean, probably wouldn't hurt too much, but it's just easier for the seeds to break through if the material's smaller. So I'm just going to rub it like this, and what you get is a nice powder in there. That's what the screening does, and this is the finished product. It's a very nice seed starting mix. Whether you use peat or potting mix or aged rice hulls or anything like that, just get the particles small in size and it'll work. I mean, sanitizing it is the most important thing, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Also, if you don't want to build one of these, I mean, I put in my store a screen. It's like $15, and you can do it. You can just simply buy a screen. Not a big deal. Alright, potting mix is done. Very nice. Now we're going to add some chopped up or blended rice hulls. That's because if you can see past the table over there, I've got a lot of them. So it's a cheap resource for me. If your cheapest resource is going to be regular peat moss, but I want you to consider you can use it straight, but the pH level on that is really low. So for every 5-gallon bucket you have, you need about a half to 1 cup of garden lime added to it and mixed in thoroughly. So I've got this little blender, and all I'm going to do is just put about half full and grind them and dump them in. Real easy. Alright, I've got my 72 cell planter ready to plant some seed, and I've got my great seed starting mix I just made. Before I can put it in here, I need to sterilize the mix to make sure that there is no disease, fungus, or insect eggs or even larvae in there before I put it in the tray. And this is how I do it. It's a creamer container. I fill it full, and all I'm going to do now is put a cap on it. I'm going to put it on there loosely. You don't want to create a pressure situation in the microwave. Alright, loose lid. 1 minute. Let it go. Alright, after 1 minute, kind of feel in there. It's not too warm. So now we're going to put the lid on it we're going to shake it up, and we're going to put it in the microwave again, but this time I'm going to put it upside down so to get a more levelized overall microwaving, if you will. Alright, I shook it for, I don't know, 10 or 20 seconds. Mixed it up really well, and I put it in here upside down. The lid is definitely not tight. That did the trick. It's almost too hot to touch. Well, it probably is if I kept my fingers in it. And that's all I need. I reuse things quite a bit. You saw the creamer container, now the milk jug, rinsed out of course. And I use them for a lot of stuff related to holding hydroponic nutrient. In this case, I've got just a little bit in there, and it's about probably, I would say, 10%, 9-to-1. So it's a very, very weak solution of hydroponic nutrient. I just want to have something available to the seedlings when needed. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pour it into the container and shake it up and mix it. Well, there you go, a nice moist seedling mix. This is Brent. We'll see you later. Hey everyone, let me tell you about something new to my channel. It's my Amazon store. In this link, or in the URL link in any of my videos, you can click on it and it'll take